Hello guys, I know it's been a while since I last uploaded a video. I was not focusing on YouTube, I was focusing on other things, and also I was lacking inspiration to go out and make videos, but I've been learning a lot. I've been rereading the Course in Miracles, I've been helping people, been actually coaching, well, not really coaching, I've been doing clearing sessions with people, I've been helping people clear the limiting beliefs. While helping people, I came across some problems, and I feel like I would like to address them in a video format. And also, I've been playing this game Frostpunk. As you can see, it's the world's first city survival game where the world has gone really super cold. Some storm hit, we don't know exactly, but the world is basically covered in snow, and you're tasked as the leader to make your city survive. Really fantastic game. I spent like just hours and hours in this game. I wanted to start this video talking about something that's really important for me, and I feel for a lot of people, and my clients included. It's the importance of being free of guilt. I don't know about you guys, but I was raised as a Catholic, taught to believe in sin. That we could somehow do something against God and we can be punished for it. For many years, I would punish myself this with negative, really super negative emotion, negative thoughts, as if I deserved to be punished for something. Sometimes I still have these bouts of guilt where like I don't do something and I feel guilty, and the guilt makes me unproductive, and because of the being unproductive I feel even more guilty, and it's like this vicious cycle. This course in miracles, if you guys don't know it, it's like this new age Bible. Very long book, but highly recommend it for anyone who is interested in spirituality or just being happy, to be honest, because this book is very practical. It's about changing our minds from our normal habitual fearful thinking, into having a more trusting and faith orientated way of thinking. And one of the primary goals of the course is to free us from guilt, because guilt is basically the belief in separation, that we're separate from our creator, we're separate from the universe. And the sin, as the course teaches us, is a lack of love. And that's actually impossible, because as the course also states, that love is all there is. The universe is made out of love. The creator is love. And we can only perceive that we are sinning. We can only perceive that we're separate, but we're not actually separate. But the feeling of guilt, as you know, is really real. Basically, the guilt stems from a belief of separateness and our separate thoughts that are connected to it. The ego is going to think and believe so many unnatural things, like no one likes you, no one loves you, stop, give up, It doesn't even have to be that negative, but we all, I think, at some level have that voice in our heads that's completely unnatural from the one mind, what the Course teaches, the true mind, the Holy Spirit. Because conflict can only happen when there's two sides. When there's ego versus Holy Spirit, but there's only one mind. There is only the spirit. The ego, we created the ego. And this guilt, this fear, creates so many excuses not to be loving, to be judgmental. And I feel like it ruins our life experience. I could tell from personal experience that guilt has just made the moments in my life just almost unbearable. Like I feel this is something that just came into my head. Like I got a B one time on a test in like middle school, and I just felt so guilty and so bad for a B. I mean, oh my god. It was just my belief systems. My guilt was so into me that I couldn't see the good of having a freaking B, As when we're free of guilt, we're free from suffering. Because all the guilt is the belief in something we did in the past, or something we didn't do, something that could be different. As we know, the past and the future are just illusions. They don't actually exist. All there is now. You can't be guilty right now if you're really focused in the present moment. 100%, which we all are. We're just not aware of it. But if you put your awareness into what really is the present, you can't be guilty. And what happens when we start and we stop being guilty? We start building things instead of suffering, instead of regression, going backwards. I don't know about you, but I feel like when I'm in the guilty state, I can't move. I can't do anything that I want to do. Everything feels forced. I'm looking back in the past. My energy's in the past. It's not in the present moment. But when you are free from that and your energy is right here, right now, 100% present, you could start moving. You can start building. You can start growing. You can do what you want without this weight. Well, I feel like the guilt is like this sinking feeling. It keeps you down. And ultimately, what I've come across in my spiritual journey is how you treat yourself is how you treat others, and vice versa. It doesn't matter, because it's easy to treat someone that you love with love, but someone that you don't respect or you don't love, that's something that it says about you. If I'm feeling the guilt for any reason, I'm going to project that guilt onto somebody else. I'll give you an example. Like today, my brother, he didn't do something that I wanted him to do. And I got angry and upset, and I was taking that out on him. I was trying to make him feel guilty, which is what the Course states, that anger is just us trying to make somebody else feel guilty. And you can see how many problems that causes. But also what this guilt, I feel, it stops us from realizing the truth, that we are all one, that we're all just doing our best. This guilt, it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't help anyone. But I know there's a reason why people hold on to it. They say, oh, it'll motivate me. Oh, if I hold on to this guilt, I could change myself and I can move forward and I could do the things that I want to do. But we all know that's not true. I've had a lot of clients that they just beat themselves up for things maybe years in the past that they think, if I said this differently, maybe they wouldn't leave me, or if I just worked a little bit harder, I wouldn't be here right now. Like, how do you know? How do you know? Maybe it could seem 100%, like logically, if you made that business deal, you'd be somewhere, better off. But how do you know? How can you be 100% sure that decision was in your highest good? And the truth is, we don't know. I'll give you an example of John Lithgow, if you don't. Great actor. He played Lord Farquaad in Shrek. And he's done a lot of other stuff. But I read his autobiography, and there's a part where he chose to do a play that bombed instead of a play that was really, really successful. And in the moment, he felt awful. He felt like he made an awful decision. But because he did that play, he made a connection there in the film industry, and that helped, it exploded his career. It's like what set the spark, And he could have felt guilty, he could have felt left out, that he made a bad decision, but in the highest good was for him to be in that play, to meet that person, See, and I think the guilt comes from this ego, this knowing mind. Oh, I know what's good for me. I know it should have been this way, but it's not. And the guilt keeps us from looking at reality for what it is and accepting it, because acceptance is love. If you're not accepting something, you're not loving it. Positive energy is integration. Negative energy is repulsion. You get it out. And that is not acceptance. And the whole thing about guilt and what the Course ultimately wants to teach us is that we are not just these physical bodies. We are infinite beings. We are spirit. And guilt, it keeps our soul from expanding. It keeps it locked up. And it wants to be expressive. It wants to be in joy. It wants to be in love. But oh no, I didn't take out the trash. I don't know if you're feeling guilty about taking the trash out, or I'm just trying to make it silly, but we can't grow. We can't do anything when we're in the state of guilt. We can't do our best. If you could just think, if you were in a guilty state as opposed to a loving state, who would you be? What would you be doing? And ultimately, this guilt is not in alignment to the Creator, the infinite Creator loves us unconditionally. It is us. We are aspects of the infinite creator. Why would it not love itself? There's only one being. And these feelings of guilt, they're the exact opposite of it. They're unnatural. As a conversation of God says, that all suffering comes from wrong thought. When you're in guilt, you know you're thinking and believing something that's not right. That's it. That's all there is to it. It doesn't matter about the situation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just what you're thinking and believing. Because like I said, how do you know this is what life, it was supposed to be different? I think that's one of the underlining beliefs of guilt. Oh, it should be different. It could have done it this way. It could have been, I could have done this way. I should have done that. How do you know if it's for the best? I had a blog and I didn't like writing it, and I felt every day, I felt so guilty that I wasn't writing it. I wasn't writing blog posts. Well, maybe I wasn't meant to write for blogs. That's just a small example, but I bet you guys have something in your life experience. Well, okay, I think that's it for today, guys. Really glad to be making videos again. If you could leave me some positive, I should say constructive criticism. If you agree with what I said, disagree, I'd really like to hear your opinions. All right, I wish you the best and God bless.